never existed. And this is the part nobody tells you. Memory is not about intelligence. It's not about having a good brain. Your brain is actually designed to forget almost everything. Because from a survival perspective, remembering everything would destroy your focus. So your brain constantly asks one question. Is this important enough to keep? If the answer is no, it disappears. That's why rereading notes rarely works. Highlighting everything rarely works. Watching endless lectures rarely works. Because passive input does not convince the brain something matters. But neuroscience discovered something fascinating. The brain remembers information faster when you force it to struggle correctly. Not harder, correctly. And once you understand this, memorization becomes dramatically easier. Today I'll show you the science-backed system students use to memorize faster, retain longer, and recall information under pressure. Not motivation, not study harder. Actual memory mechanics. Let's begin. 1. Stop trying to store information. Most students study like a storage device. Read, repeat. Read again. Repeat again. But memory does not work like saving files on a computer. Memory is built through reconstruction. Your brain strengthens information when it retrieves it, not when it receives it. This is called active recall. And it's one of the most researched learning methods in cognitive science. Here's what most people do. Read page, feel familiar, move on. Here's what top performers do. Read page, close notes, force the brain to retrieve. That tiny struggle is what builds memory pathways. The harder retrieval feels, the stronger the memory becomes afterward. This is why testing yourself beats rereading every single time. So instead of studying like this, let me read this chapter 4 more times. Do this. What can I remember without looking? Even if you only remember 20%, especially if you only remember 20%. Because difficulty during recall is actually a sign your brain is adapting, not failing. 2. Your brain loves incomplete patterns. Have you noticed something strange? You remember song lyrics from years ago, but forget what you studied yesterday. Why? Because the brain remembers patterns better than isolated facts. Random information dies quickly. Connected information survives. This means memorization becomes easier when you turn information into relationships instead of raw data. For example, instead of memorizing ATP is the energy currency of the cell, connect it. ATP equals battery pack for cellular work. Now the brain has meaning. Meaning creates memory hooks, and the more hooks you create, the faster recall becomes. This is why stories, analogies, visuals, and weird mental images work so well. Your brain is emotional and associative, not robotic. So if you want to memorize faster, stop asking, how do I repeat this more? Start asking, how do I connect this better? That single shift changes everything. 3. The 24-hour memory rule. Most forgetting happens shockingly fast. Researchers found that without review, memory drops aggressively within the first 24 hours. Meaning, if you study something today and never revisit it, your brain labels it as temporary information. Gone. This is why students often feel like, I studied so much but forgot everything during the exam. Because memory requires spaced reinforcement. Not one giant study session. This is called spaced repetition, and it's one of the most powerful memory systems ever discovered. Here's the simple version. Review information right before your brain is about to forget it. Not too early, not too late. This creates long-term retention with less effort. A simple schedule. Day 1, learn. Day 2, quick review. Day 4, review again. Day 7, review again. Day 14, review again. Each review becomes shorter, but memory becomes stronger. This is exactly why cramming feels productive, but disappears quickly afterward. Your brain remembers repetition over time, not repetition in panic. 4. Emotion is a memory superpower. Your brain prioritizes emotional information. That's why embarrassing moments from years ago still feel vivid. Emotion tells the brain, this matters. You can use this intentionally while studying. Instead of studying in a dull, half-awake state, create emotional intensity. Examples. Teach the concept dramatically. Pretend you're explaining it on stage. Attach curiosity to the topic. Turn studying into challenges. Use urgency timers. Study with strong focus music. Visualize future success while learning. Emotion increases attention. Attention increases encoding. Encoding increases memory. This is also why boredom destroys retention. A distracted brain rarely memorizes deeply. So before studying, don't just ask, what should I learn? Ask, how do I make my brain care? 5. The blurting method. Students use to memorize faster. This method feels almost illegal when you first try it. Here's how it works. Step 1. Study a topic normally for 20 to 30 minutes. Step 2. Close everything. Step 3. Take a blank sheet of paper. Now write everything you remember. Messy, incomplete. Doesn't matter. Force retrieval. Step 4. Open your notes again. Compare what you missed. Then repeat. This technique combines active recall, retrieval practice, error correction, deep encoding, all at the same time. And because your brain notices mistakes strongly, the corrected information sticks much faster afterward. This is why many top students don't spend most of their time reading. They spend most of their time retrieving. Big difference. 6. Your environment is secretly training your memory. Your brain attaches memory to context. This is called context-dependent learning. Meaning, if you always study distracted, your brain learns distraction. If you always study while scrolling, your focus weakens. If your phone interrupts every 3 minutes, your brain never enters deep encoding mode, and shallow attention creates shallow memory. So if you truly want faster memorization, protect the first 25 minutes of study aggressively. No notifications, no multitasking, no quick checks. Because memory formation requires uninterrupted attention. This is why even highly intelligent students struggle when constantly switching tasks. The issue is not intelligence. It's fragmented attention. 7. Sleep is literally part of memorization. This is the part students underestimate most. You do not fully memorize while studying. Your brain finalizes memory during sleep, especially deep sleep. During sleep, the brain replays important information and transfers it into long-term storage. Meaning, sleeping after studying is not laziness, it is neurological reinforcement. And this is why all-night studying sessions often backfire. You sacrifice the exact process that stabilizes memory. Want better retention? Study difficult material a few hours before sleep, then sleep properly. Your brain continues processing even after you stop studying. That's the insane part. 8. The advanced trick, interleaving. Most students study like this. Math for 4 straight hours, then biology for 4 straight hours, then chemistry. Feels productive. But the brain adapts better with controlled switching. This is called interleaving. Example: 45 minutes math, 45 minutes biology, 45 minutes chemistry. Why does this work? Because switching forces the brain to re-engage repeatedly. It strengthens discrimination and recall. The brain must constantly ask, what strategy do I use here? That extra mental effort improves long-term learning dramatically. It feels slower initially, but performs better during exams, which is what actually matters. Final message. Your brain is not bad at memorizing. It's just overloaded with passive information. Modern students consume more information in 1 week than older generations consumed in months. And most of it disappears because the brain was never forced to retrieve, connect, or reinforce it. So stop measuring learning by hours studied, pages highlighted, lectures watched. Measure learning by what you can recall, what you can explain, what survives after 3 days. Because real memory is not recognition, it is reconstruction. And once you train your brain this way, memorization starts feeling unfair. Not because you became smarter overnight, but because you finally started studying